This video series attempts to provide an esoteric analysis of the Holy Scriptures, offering an antidote to the distortions promoted by literalist and uninitiated readings. Rooted in the principles of Empyrean Dragon Magick and aligned with the Illuminist mission of advancing humanity toward unity through rational spiritual gnosis, the series invites viewers to engage in a progressive interpretive journey. Each new video builds upon the last, creating a cumulative hermeneutic architecture that reveals the scriptures as a coded metaphysical narrative for magic and self-realization. The journey begins with Genesis verse 1, so be sure to check the first video in this playlist. Now the earth was formless and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was moving over the face of the waters. Genesis 1 verse 2. In this verse, Earth should not be understood in the literal geophysical sense, but rather as a symbol of the material domain in its nascent, undifferentiated state. It represents the conceptual emergence of the physical plane, the space-time matrix, through the dialectical interplay between the mental, heaven, and the material, earth domains. At this primordial juncture, no material formation has occurred. The universe remains in a purely ideational or potential form. In Empyrean ontology, all creation originates in the mental realm and is subsequently manifested through structured energy patterns, more precisely, through ontological Fourier mathematics. Thus, Earth here signifies an archetypal canvas, a projected space-time matrix, not yet rendered into material substance. The formless and void nature of this domain indicates a holographic, unmanifest substrate, a field of pure potentiality awaiting ontological structuring. This pre-material condition emerges from waveform interactions and ontological syntax within a framework of dual-aspect monism, a reality that is simultaneously mental and physical, two sides of the same mathematical nature of reality. This field of pure potentiality represents the primordial threshold, the liminal moment preceding the emergence of a dreamscape, wherein the unconscious mind begins to architect the structures of inner reality. The darkness in this passage is not physical, but a metaphorical veil, the ignorance of selfhood and divinity that characterizes the pre-Gnostic human condition. From an esoteric standpoint, this darkness symbolizes the obscured nature of consciousness, the unilluminated terrain of the mind prior to self-realization, the unconscious mind of pure potentiality. This can be likened to the unexplored areas in a video game, cloaked in shadow until the player advances. In this case, the player being consciousness itself. Darkness in this context may be understood as the primordial chaos, the undifferentiated ground of being from which all form emerges. In alchemical tradition, this corresponds to the prima materia, the primal substance, unrefined and unshaped, which serves as the essential foundation for the great work. It is not merely absence, but potentiality in its rawest state. From a depth psychological perspective, this darkness symbolizes the latent contents of the unconscious, archetypal energies, unresolved complexes, and unintegrated aspects of the psyche awaiting illumination and transformation. It is the fertile void from which individuation arises, the necessary starting point for both alchemical transmutation and spiritual ascent. The waters traditionally represent the subconscious strata of the mind. They are the fluid, unformed aspects of psychic existence. The Spirit of God hovering over these waters signifies the initial stirring of conscious awareness within the universal mind. The first movement in the scriptural narrative. This movement is not a physical act, but a metaphysical event, the primordial act of divine introspection. Drawing from Aristotelian metaphysics, the Spirit is a dynamic emanation from the unmoved mover, the divine source, initiating a reflexive awareness within the universal mind. It is the alpha moment, the beginning of actualization, the initiation of being self-reflection. Here, the divine contemplates the abyss of its own unconscious content, beginning the alchemical process of transmutation from potential to form, from the waters of chaos to cosmic order. But why would the absolute, the all-encompassing totality of being, the Elohim, the collective hive mind of all monads, initiate the creative process at all? If God is understood as the singular ontological reality, the only thing that exists, perfect, self-sufficient, eternal, and infinite, then no external compulsion could drive such an act. All that there is resides within the divine essence. Thus, creation is not a necessity born of lack, but an intrinsic expression of plenitude. The act of creation is best understood not as fabrication ex nihilo, but as self-expression, a process through which the absolute contemplates and experiences itself through differentiation. This is the movement from the one to the many, the eternal unfolding of potential into actualization, of idea into experience. It is the divine's own drive toward self-knowledge, Nothi Sautin, that propels the emanation of the cosmos. The multiplicity of forms does not contradict unity, but reveals its depth through infinite variation. Each individual consciousness, each monad, is a localized expression of the divine whole, a node within the infinite network of God's own mind. Just as we enter into the dream state to explore latent aspects of ourselves, so too does the divine enter the realm of manifest existence to explore the full spectrum of its own being. The world of waking experience is, in this view, a collective dream, not illusory in the trivial sense, but ontologically grounded in mind, in consciousness. It is God dreaming lucidly, seeking to become conscious of itself through the lived experiences of all its emanated centers. This is the teleological arc of creation, the absolute seeking lucidity through the particular. The dream of the world is, therefore, the unfolding of divine self-awareness, a sacred theater in which the infinite plays out every possibility in pursuit of ultimate, conscious reunification with itself. Ultimately, Genesis 1 verse 2 describes a liminal point, the interstitial state between pure mental ideation, Bai, the heavens, and the emergent, geometrized projection of space-time, the Earth. The material cosmos at this stage exists as an uncollapsed waveform, a simulation not yet actualized into definite form. It is the divine idea stirring within the void, a spiritual gestation that precedes the manifest world.